Mental illness has many names: anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive, schizophrenia, bipolar. It also has many faces. It can be a friend, a church member, a family member, or a loved one.
Well, it's an everyday battle. And every day you say, hey, it's another day to try and get a good day.
The difficulties associated with mental illness are great. It can be overwhelming to the patient and family members involved. That's why No Longer Alone Ministries was formed, to fill that void, so that the person with mental illness and their family have a place to turn to, so that they truly are no longer alone.
No Longer Alone Ministries is a non-profit Christian organization that works with individuals who have long-term mental illness, as well as with their families.
There are now 4 programs in No Longer Alone Ministries. The first and oldest program, Family Support Group, was formed after Ruth and Lowell Detweiler's son Steve was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
We were just really lost and devastated, and so we started talking about the idea, wondering if there are other people that are going through similar circumstances, and so we decided, in consultation with some other folks, to simply announce a support group meeting.
This first meeting in 1991 was attended by 37 family members, and Family Support Group has been a lifeline for families ever since.
We had friends who had a daughter who has a similar illness, and we didn't realize that it was, and they called us and they said, come over to Family Support Group. The information we got there and the support, of all of a sudden we walked in with a group of people who understood exactly what we were going through and could give us the information very quickly, and just came by our side. And we just really truly felt no longer alone, because we did feel alone up until that time.
It was someone who understood. These people understood. When we went to Family Support Group, we thought that we were the only ones that heard some things that we had heard from family members or friends. And we found out that everyone had heard these things and had put things on them. People look as, like, what's wrong? Why don't you do something with your child? Why does he act this way? And we found out that other parents were dealing with exactly the same issues that we were dealing with. And it was helpful.
Another important component of No Longer Alone Ministries is the supported living program. Here, a program counselor is matched to a client, and together they set out goals and work towards them. This support has been invaluable for clients like Carl, who cope every day with their illness.
I have a caseworker that, if she wasn't there, there's a lot of times I would have no one to call. She's always a listening ear, and her husband's supportive too. It's a Christian organization, and I think that's so much better. We can go to the Lord for prayer, or there's just a lot of ways that it's different from the secular system. It takes time to develop trust, and I've come to the point where I can be open and frank with my counselor, and that's something I really enjoy.
People like Carl, who are living with a mental illness, manage and cope at different levels. While each person's case is different, they can fluctuate from day to day and month to month, depending on a variety of factors.
On a bad day, you just might not have the energy. You just don't have the energy to just get up. You felt like, hey, I just don't feel like getting up for a mission or whatever it is your volunteer work is, and I have to push myself. I don't want to fall into the illness and just sit around all day, because I know that's going to make me more sick.
The goals are usually to work towards independence and stability, so they can enjoy and participate in what life has to offer. Carl enjoys fishing in the outdoors. Seth Davis loves working on his car, which is his prized possession. And Mary Beth Souter works hard at living independently in her apartment with her cat. She enjoys emailing friends, and she does volunteer work, which has received media attention.
When I met Mary Beth, she had just had a breakdown and was, recovering at home, but needed her parents to stay with her. And since that time, she's had roommates, lived more independently, and now is able to have her own apartment
and face fears, develop her abilities with the computer, maintain her budget. She does very well at many of these things.
Helping to educate the community about mental illness is the third component of No Longer Alone Ministries, and this is done through Speakers Bureau. Seth Davis and his parents, Jody and Donald, go into the community and speak to congregations and groups.
It pleases me that all of you want to have a better understanding of what it is like to have a mental illness. My name is Seth Davis, and I am 25 years old. I have a mental illness called schizophrenia. I will first say that one of the hardest things for me to do was to begin to believe that I have an illness. I know this is true for most people with a mental illness.
By speaking, Seth and his family work to educate people, helping to remove the stigma that can isolate families who struggle with this illness. The final and newest program in No Longer Alone Ministries is Compere. In Compere, a volunteer is matched with a person who has a mental illness, offering friendship, companionship, and a listening ear.
Compere is based on the idea that a volunteer's friendship can offset some of the loneliness and isolation that many experience who have a mental illness.
In support of the 4 programs that make up No Longer Alone Ministries, there are 2 annual events that serve as fundraisers for the organization. The Dream Ride, a multiple-length bicycle ride in Lancaster County, has drawn many riders each year, raising funds for No Longer Alone Ministries. In addition, Chamber Classics, a concert which features traditional and contemporary chamber music, is performed by local and guest musicians. These popular events are a wonderful show of support from the community, but you too can help. We invite you to be partners with us in making a difference in the lives of those who are suffering with mental illness. By doing so, you will be giving thanks for your own life and health, and empowering those among us who are at this time less fortunate. Please contact us at No Longer Alone Ministries, 1155B East Oregon Road, Lidditz, Pennsylvania, 17543-8366, or telephone us at 717-656-7358. In addition to donations, volunteers are always welcome.
Unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. Unrevealed until its season, something yet